Hi, I'm China Taylor. I'm a professional dancer and I'm here with DesireList. I have been dancing professionally since I was 16 years old, and my first huge job was working with Lady Gaga at 17, and then after that just kind of started like a snowball effect. Kind of fell into like Beyonce, Janet, Trey Songz, Jason Derulo. So I started my first dance class when I was like 8 or 9 years old, and it was because my mom said I would just kind of run around breaking things and just like dancing around the house. So she was like, hey, we gotta put all this energy somewhere. So I started dance classes, and I would watch all the older kids at the studio all the time and just be like, oh my God, I have to do that, I have to do it, I have to do it. And I would just copy it all the time. And then my teacher was like, okay, we can tell she loves it. Like, we'll give her a scholarship, because money was just really tight back then. And my mom was always working, dad was always working. I would like go to competitions with my dance studio teachers and owners all the time. I was just really taken care of really well by like the people that were around me, and just like opening my eyes to like what professional dance was. And my mom was like, so you want to go to LA? Like, you sure you want to do this? Are you sure? And I was like, yeah, like, let's go. I'm ready. I'm like, I have to go. So she was like, okay, we're leaving next week. I was like, oh, okay, great. So she quit her job. She packed up the car with whatever we could fit. We got like air mattress, a bed, TV, everything. And we basically left Friday night, got there Sunday morning to LA, and I took a dance class at like 2 o'clock. It was like such a little whirlwind for me. We moved into our new apartment in LA. Like, I was just so excited. I was only 15. There was one point where this dance convention came out called The Pulse, and it was basically all these choreographers who worked on all my favorite music videos in one place, which is like heaven. So I started going to this convention all the time. They had their like national finale summer program, and I went there just like all 400 or 500 other kids that were there, and basically I had won their they call it Elite Protege, and basically you travel the whole season with them and assist them in different cities, and they take you there for free. And I just was so excited. I had won for the first time, and I was just freaking out. It's like, I've never really won anything before except for this, and it was like the biggest thing I've always wanted. So I started doing that and assisting all these choreographers who I looked up to so much, and just taking in like every bit of information possible. Brooke Lipton, one of the choreographers who was at this dance convention, was like, oh, so like, what's going on with you? Like, so you're in LA, how old are you? Can you work? Because usually the working age is 18 in LA. I basically was like, oh, I know I'm not 18, but like, I want to work. So she was like, okay, so here's what we're gonna do. Take this Chesapeake test so you can work legally as an adult, and then you can come work as many episodes of Glee as we can get you on. I was like, oh, okay, great. So I went and took this test. They're like, okay, you got your Chesapeake test? Okay, great, you're an adult now? Okay, so what are you doing next week? We're shooting an episode of Glee. I was like, oh my God, I'm so excited. I was just so elated. It was the most exciting thing for like a 16-year-old little girl. Did the first episode with Glee, and then did a couple more after that with her, and met some really great friends out of it. It was a really great experience. When I first moved to LA, it was so like, okay, yeah, this is what I gotta do. I have to do it. There was this one music video audition with this choreographer named Richard Jackson, and I knew he choreographed for Lady Gaga. It's like common knowledge among dancers that like, this is the guy who you want to be in front of, type of thing. And I was 16 years old, went into this audition. I had on this bunny ear beanie. It was like 2013 or 12, and this like bomber jacket with like blue and gold, and like these high-waisted leggings. I thought I was the coolest girl in there. I walked in, there were like full-blown adults everywhere, short shirts, little tube tops, little naked girls everywhere. I was like, oh, this is like, ooh, I am dressed for the wrong occasion. But I stayed, did the audition. He noticed me and he was just like, oh my God, like, who are you? I was very new, like no one really knew I was even out here, who I was or anything. So he was just like, who are you? What's going on? And got an email, VMAs 2013, Lady Gaga, open call. It was like Friday and it was like Tuesday. I was like, oh my God, this is it, I'm gonna do it. So went to the audition. There was, I believe, around 800 girls there. I remember my number was 365, and I was like, wow, this is gonna go all night. There was like a good 800 people in this audition, and I danced my little heart out. I'm 17 at this point. I'm like, I have to do this job. Like, this is what I'm here for. Like, oh, I fought so hard. I got there, I believe, at around noon. The audition basically went till midnight. They had to close down the studio and said, okay, guys, we're gonna have to have a call back tomorrow. Just come back tomorrow. So we came back tomorrow. There was like another 100 or some of us for him to go through at the callback. And then a couple days later, I'm walking through. Burbank Town Center, whatever, just going to the movies with a couple friends, and I get a call, and they're like, so they would like to book you for Lady Gaga VMAs, and I was like, oh my God, crying and screaming and running around Burbank Town. Like, it was so funny. And then rehearsal started like 2 days later, did that experience, had such a great time. It was like such a dream. It was such a dream. I was like, okay, this is good. I'm like starting to get it into it. This is a groove. I'm doing other little things here and there. Then I get a phone call, and they were like, hey, so are you available tomorrow and, for a little bit? And I was like, yeah, I'm not doing nothing. They're like, okay, well, they want to book you for Lady Gaga's tour, Art Pop On. I was like, huh? Excuse me? Wait, what? She's like, yeah, they want to book you for a tour. You start rehearsals tomorrow. Like, can you get there? And I was like, yes, I can get there. Oh my God, I was just such a baby. I was such a big baby. It was like the greatest thing ever, I think, to happen to me personally. I think it just started off everything. Experiencing that, like, under those people, in those rehearsal rooms every day, like, her passion, the choreographer's passion, like, the whole creative team's passion, and I was like, this is where I need to be working professionally for the rest of my life. After I finished my first world tour, we traveled everywhere. Like, it was such an experience, and I was like, okay, I'm home now, like, guess I'll take a break. Literally 2 months later, Janet Jackson audition. They didn't say what it was for, they just said, special artist, secret project, here's the date and time to be there. And so I get there, I'm like, oh my gosh, what are we doing? I noticed Gil walk in. Gil was also one of the choreographers who was at the Pulse when I was younger that I trained under and like assisted a lot. So he's teaching all this choreography, he's teaching like iconic choreography at this point. Like he's teaching he's teaching us Don't Stop, like we're learning all these steps I've been watching since I was like 10 years old, and I'm like, okay, yep, we're here, we're doing it. And so he does a couple cuts, and all of a sudden you like hear a door open, and these heels start clicking through the room, like clicking, and my eyes are closed. So I open my eyes, I see Janet, Damita Jo Jackson, walk through the room in the cutest one-piece onesie I've ever seen in my life, and these beautiful like 5-inch heels, and she was like, hey guys, hey. I will say every dancer in the room at that moment was like jaw on the floor. Like I was like, oh, I can't show, but oh my gosh, you're here. She watches us dance, they're moving us around, doing all these things, and there was a moment where we had been doing at least 3 or 4 different numbers of choreography. There was like, I believe 8 of us just standing there, and they had us lined up, and they were like, okay, so we're sorry to tell you, but like you guys have to kind of clear your schedules because you guys are going on tour with Janet Jackson. I was like, oh geez, we were on the floor, people were crying, we were screaming. It's like, that's a dream. That's a dream. Janet Jackson is a dream. She's the reason why half the people in LA are doing what they're doing, honestly. Everything kind of blends because it was just like big job after big job, and then they said, do you want to do the Super Bowl with Beyonce? And I was like, yeah, sure, why not? Why wouldn't I say yes to the Super Bowl? Oh my God. I just had to trust whatever was happening. Like I did the Lady Gaga Joanne tour. It was another tour, and I was like, okay, work, second time, yes, let's do it again. Can't wait, We finished the tour about mid-January, and I got a text, I believe the day I got home, and said, hey, are you available February 14th through April? And I was like, that's a long time, but yeah, I'm free. I just got home, like I'm not doing anything. Okay, they were like, okay, great. They want to book you for Beyonce's Coachella. Basically did Coachella for like about 3 months. That was like 3 months of the year. For me to stay here on planet Earth, I literally have to like calm myself down, because on the road it's very like, okay, wake up, what time's lobby call? Okay, great, what time's lobby call? Okay, what time is tech time? Okay, great. What time can I eat food? Okay, great. Oh, we have to do glam too? Okay, awesome. I try not to look at my phone for like a good 20-30 minutes in the morning. Like I'll just wake up, do what I gotta do. I meditate. Honestly, that's what helps me a lot. I'll like sit my crystals out and I'll meditate, I'll manifest, and I just really have to like, I take in what I need to from just Earth in general, like the energy that it's giving me, and that's honestly what I need to move forward with my day.